Welcome back, folks. Pokemon Emerald here on the HeavyBaseX channel. We're back here at Route. This is the route that goes back. We're back at Route 110, which means we are near Mauville City. Mostly due to the fact now we can actually technically take a shortcut using our new HM Surf Slave, aka Tentacool. You can now pick up a rare candy in the middle of this island here. Noted and remember, and of course, realize that there is no way am I going to be able to get to the other side of this place. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back the way I fucking came. Yeah, that's kind of sucked, but fortunately, I didn't use a freaking repel here, which means this is going to be interesting. After you gain 5 badges, you can go back to Mauville City. There is a side quest we're going to be doing in this episode, and it's a favor we're going to be doing for Wattson. I'll probably enjoy them a bit, but technically there is no way. So, check surfing again. We have, see, in the most areas of frickin' this game, there are tentacles. You can catch them, but I don't see the much point of that one. It's usually Magikarps, tentacles, and Goldines. Like this tentacle. Hello. You may have noticed the levels as well. 21. Ranging from 15 to level 40 if you get lucky. It's kind of random here. One of the complaints 3rd Gen got was the amount of tentacle that you'll be encountering in later on, because much later on in this game there is a very long surfing segment. Very long surfing segment. Which will drive you insane. But we're not going to experience that for another, say, 20 parts. So that's going to be the big benefit here. Now the reason I'm talking like this is because we're heading back to Mauville City, and this is technically filler. But in most Pokemon games, in fact, starting from 3rd Gen onwards, there are side quests. Side quests you can get for special items that you will be picking up. Generation 4 picked this up with the Fuego Ironworks, as it were. But we can also but this is the start of it. If you're familiar with New Mauville, this is going to be the place where we're heading to, which is essentially why we need Surf. Okay, so let's head back to town. Now, Wattson will now appear in the middle of town, which is really interesting. Before we do that, we're going to need to heal. Very importantly, too. So, technically, we're saving here because I'm not going all the way back to do this shit again. Plus, I kind of figured this was going to be an episode, but I didn't want it to be so fucking long. So instead, we're going to go to New Mauville. We're going to accept Wattson's task that he's going to give us. So let's talk to the man himself. And hello, Benjamin. Right, I hate the Bogan nav. Anyway, that's a good thing. Ha! I need a favor, Brendan says that. Mauville City has an underground sector called New Mauville. He tells us to turn off the generator. And we pick up the basement key. Oh, good! We're going into a basement. Lovely. So, the reason why I noticed as well is New Mauville contains 2 Pokemon that we haven't seen yet. And they are classic Generation 1 Pokemon. Voltorb, your electric type, and so that's Team Magma rules. Yeah, sabotage there. Anyway, Voltorb and a Pokemon called Magnemite are going to be here. So New Mauville is right here. We now enter this small dungeon. Use the basement key to open up New Mauville like so, and we now are here inside this very interesting place. This contains a variety of switches, and if you've noticed, the Pokemon here are Magnemite, like this one here, Magnemite, and Voltorb. They are level 26. They are pretty good levels. If you haven't caught an electric type yet, which I really don't think you should. You should have an electric type at this point. But if you do decide to catch a Pokemon with a with electric type, most people would go for Magnemite here. In before Generation 4 gave him his 3rd form, Magnezone, Magneton was actually pretty good. Is a pretty good Pokemon. Electric Steel has pretty nifty resistances, about 13 to be precise. And the reason why I'm saying 13 is because in Black and White 2, which is going to be showing up later on, Magnemite is fucking king in that game. The resistances are vast, and his resistances are essential. And he's going to be a team member of that game, so... Also, you may have noticed the switches are different. We already have Voltorb here, see, 23 to 26. So, pretty high levels. I do mean that's pretty nifty levels. Alrighty then. There is no interaction here. Only Pokemon are here. Voltorbs and Magnemites. There are rare occasions where you can get either a Magneton or an Electrode. I advise to get the Electrode. It's a pretty fast Pokemon. It's one of the fast ones, but it's just a big, huge ball of spear, and that's never really a good thing. So we finally have one, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is a Voltorb. It looks like a Pokeball, and one of the biggest gags in the game is that if you pick up a Voltorb, it will attack you. Also, in the anime, it self-destructs a lot. It's like Voltorb, Voltorb. Fortunately, most of the Voltorb line is special based rather than physical based, but they do blow up amusingly. And it doesn't blow up. Apparently, it doesn't know how to self-destruct, which is what you do not do in this game, because self-destruct means you will lose a Pokemon regardless of what health you have. At least trying to be difficult. Yeah, this in Generation frickin' 3 at the... God damn it. Spark was a brand new move at this point. If I remember rightly. Yeah, Spark was brand new. So I can counter 1, 2, 3, and you caught him. And we have a Voltorb. Evolve the two of them, and you're probably going to have 2 entries into your thing, and that's the important thing, of course, is the amount of catchables. Okay, we got all the Pokemon that we need. It's now time to use a Repel. And let's use a potion on our Grovyle, and use a Paralyzed Heal to counter that. Oh, bring on a lot of Pokemon. Here's a few things you need to do for the new Mauville. You will need Paralyzed Heals. That's what most of them do, essentially. And we have Grovyle there, so let's get back to it. So, we have an item here, an escape rope, which is going to be useful for our way out. We can't go back from there, typical. There is Magnemite, and I'm pretty sure there's Voltorb, and I think there's a Magneton, if it's rare enough. Most people would go most people would actually go for the new Pokemon, so just don't mind me a second, I need to check something up. Okay, Oh yeah, there is an Electrode and there is a Magneton, but it's a very rare 1% catch rate. 1% catch rate, 1% encounter rate. So this is most of the time you will be seeing at a combined total of 98% Voltorbs and frickin' Magnemites. Also, at this point, there are 2 items. One of them is a item, the other one is mostly a frickin' Pokemon. And it's happened again, like so. So, point out that there are Voltorbs here. Later on, in another part of the game, you will be encountering Electrodes. They're pretty fast, just might I add as well. They're pretty quick. And they're higher levels too. Right, that's gonna be it for... we pick up a full heal, kind of important there. Really important, so we have that. Turn off that switch, head towards there, and there it is. Right there, you pick up a Thunderstone if you've got a Pokemon that knows a Thunderstone thing. So now that we have the generator has now been stopped, we're going to need to use the Repel again, like so. 100 steps though, but it's very important at this point, so we're going to need to go back to the switches and pull them off again. Head back towards here, head back towards there, and the light and the switch is gone. Okay, we have a problem. The switch is gone. Damn it. Right. Okay, let's try that again. Head back to the switch. Head back to that green switch there. Well, now that we're trapped, so it has to be that. Right. Go for here. Go for there and pick up the item, which is another bloody Pokemon, which is another bloody Voltorb. Okay, again with the Voltorbs, you know what to do here. Kill them or run away, it doesn't fucking matter. You can catch one if you're desperate, but I usually, if you catch one Pokemon, that's really it. You just have to catch the right one, that's all. Even if it's a rarity. And no, I don't talk about the horse either. No, no, no. That's the thing. We need to get back. Put that switch on. Do that. Try that again. Head towards there. And just realize we're going to need to turn that switch on. But then I just realized it's going to be a problem. So we're going to have to leave temporarily. And then back we go. Just trying to remember this combination, because it's pretty difficult at this point. That if you want to get all the items in this game, all the items in this place, we'll all come back here again. This place is effectively sealed away, so there is a reason to do this, and it's a good reason we're doing this. We have an Ultra Ball here, and that is the last item that we'll be getting in New Mauville, because now we're out of here. Yes, we are. Alrighty then, back the way we go. Back to Mauville. Let's get the reward for Wattson. That's good. One more time. Like so. Cut the corners. Right, that's about it. Let's go talk to Wattson. And he will give us a reward. So, well, I knew it. I made the right choice. So, you now get TM24, which is Thunderbolt, a very powerful move. It is one of the more standard moves of the game, and it's also one of the more stronger offensive moves. Perfect counter against water types, flying types, and essentially that. Of course, it is nullified by ground types, but then again, if you know your Pokemon basics, ground nullifies electric has been around since Generation fucking 1, so it's the end of this episode and the end of New Mauville. Next time, we're going to be heading east from Mauville. Laters.